Hey guys, welcome back to the Connoisseur Reviews. I finally had a chance to watch The Irishman, the long-awaited Martin Scorsese film that nobody wanted to produce except Netflix was crazy enough to do it. And I understand why. Because this movie is long. It's not a movie that's going to make a lot of money, but by God, this is probably the last time we're going to get a movie like this from a cast like this, from Martin Scorsese at the helm, doing what he does best. And words can't describe that. This movie is like a time capsule. It is definitely a slow burn. It starts off very slow and it builds up. It takes its time. It's not a fast-paced movie at all. It's not like Goodfellas. It's not like The Wolf of Wall Street, or even Casino towards the end of Casino, where it just everything boom, boom, boom starts happening. This movie takes its time, takes its moments to build the characters, to build a world. It does feel a little tedious at times. It does feel more like a history lesson, but it's a fascinating history lesson. We get to understand the mythos and, between Jimmy Hoffa and what happened with him. And I don't know if it's true, and nobody really knows. But what you get is a Martin Scorsese movie that crosses Goodfellas and Casino, and it's something I don't think we're going to see ever again. This is probably the last time we'll see De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino all in one movie doing this gangster movie that's very reminiscent of classic Scorsese. And it's a treat. You get to see them do stellar performances. De Niro is great, magnificent, subtle, cocky, soft-spoken, and just, kind of intimidating. Pesci is still like the Pesciisms that he's been doing. He's that smart aleck. He's kind of like slow-tempered. You don't know if he's gonna snap or whatnot. And I think Pacino is a real highlight in this film. I think his performance is subdued. His how he gets lost and stops listening to people. And that's what these Scorsese movies kind of do, these mobster Scorsese movies do, is that it creates this world that it's a dream world, the mob world. It's so fabulous, so grand, and escalates it in that progression where it shows you, hey, this is a good lifestyle. Like, you're getting taken care of, you're well off, you don't have much to worry about. You just do the rules, follow the rules, you're good. But then, the infighting happens, the power struggles, the egos, they all kind of interfere with one another, and eventually it comes to that crash and burn, and shows that it's not a sustainable system, that just living a decent life is good enough, and that's what Scorsese does best, even in Goodfellas, Casino. And then when stuff like that goes down, like when they start taking people out or whatever, and it's fascinating and thrilling stuff. But like I said, you have to sit through this movie. It is 3.5 hours long, so that could be a turnoff for most people, and I can see it not having too much rewatchability. And that's where my biggest complaint comes with, because it is such a long movie and it takes you through decades of these characters' lives and what happens, and kind of gets you to that point of the story. And you just kind of get absorbed in it, but at the same time you're just like, okay, come on, like, speed it up a little bit. You're just waiting for it to kind of go into that crescendo, and it never really hits that crescendo, but at the same time it doesn't need to, because it does tell a compelling story that you're absorbed in, and the performances just keep you there and absorbed the whole time. So I'm gonna say it, this is a really good movie. It is definitely a slow burn. It is in the same veins as the classic mobster stories that Scorsese has been telling. In the same way it builds up and goes down, it's very much in that same, and it's kind of derivative of that style, but it's such a great style, so there's nothing to really complain about, aside from the runtime. Like, I will repeat that the runtime is long, but it is a good movie, and this is the last time you'll probably see a performance like this from De Niro, from Pesci, from Pacino, and Martin Scorsese just directing it beautifully and masterfully, from scene to shot to pans, and the cinematography is so wonderful in this movie. The recreation of the classic 60s, 50s, 70s look of, all that stuff is good. The music is subtle, but, appropriately used. It's not like Wolf of Wall Street, where it's this boom, boom, boom flash, or even Goodfellas, where it's just kind of going at you at 1,000 frames per second, and you don't realize that what you're watching, and it happens to be a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie, but you will. And that's my biggest criticism with this movie, but it is a wonderful movie. I highly recommend go check it out. Watch it on Netflix in the comfort of your own home. You'll have a great time. I'll give this movie a low 4.5 out of 5, but I think it's great. The performances especially steal it for me. I think if it wasn't for the performances, I would have been less intrigued. And if it wasn't in the hands of a director who can do those slow burn movies, I think we would have all been just fairly disappointed with this movie. And I understand why. I think why it belongs better on Netflix and home viewing as opposed to a theatrical experience. Like, it should be experienced in the theater, but I can see why it wouldn't make a lot of money. But have you guys seen it? Have you guys had a chance to watch it? Netflix dropped it on Wednesday, and I watched it today, this morning. And like I said, I like it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And, you know, does it live up to the hype? Is it Scorsese's best? I don't think it's his best movie, but I think it is up there with his upper echelon of films. But that's, you know, Scorsese made so many movies, and all of his movies are great. And as always, follow me on my various social media sites at AwesomeROK, or on my Tumblr at TheConnoisseur Reviews, guys. And Gucci.